The following presentation is a...
You know, I bet that actually damages the camera, so I'm gonna not do that. Alright, if you're coming back to the channel, you might notice all my videos are gone. Where did they go? Where could they have gone? I have privated them. Basically, the whole thing is, I am very close to 1,000 subscribers. It seems like any day now, or within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be monetized, which is great, which is something I've always wanted. I had a channel with 22,000 subscribers, didn't get monetized on that one, unfortunately. But this one, we might get there, alright? So I'm at 875 as of recording this right now, but I figured, if I'm going to get monetized, I got to clean up my act, No more profanity from now on. Okay? We gotta keep it clean for the kids, guys. You gotta keep it clean for the kids. So, this is going to be a more family-friendly channel. People of all ages can enjoy my content if you want to. The other thing, too, is there's gonna be more production value. I'm gonna spend a little bit more time editing, because it used to take me like half an hour to edit these like 10-minute videos. I think I'm going to work a little bit harder. I think here's the thing that I think I can do. I think I can make a great thumbnail, but content-wise, it's really just me talking. I've tried to do videos where I have like videos playing while I'm talking. Those always seem to get like copyrighted. And the reason the videos are private is because, starting right now, it's going to be family friendly, but those videos, some of them had some bombs in there, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep those private, and kind of while they're private, I'm going to edit them. And after I'm done editing and trimming out all the bad stuff, I'm going to make them public again. So it should take a couple of weeks for me to get through all the videos, but my shorts videos are still up. There's nothing wrong with those. And I'm just going to keep making content while I edit these private videos. I'm going to start sounding like Simon Miller with flub this and flub that. But I wanted to make this video about last night's AEW Dynamite episode because, look, we all know. Alright, Dynamite is not very good right now. It's a stinker of a show. It really is. It has been for a while. And where, while WWE is the better program, the views for AEW videos are unmatched. And usually I would talk about how bad AEW is and what they gotta fix and all this stuff. But it's actually a positive video today because last night's AEW Dynamite was really good. I thought it was awesome. And I just kind of want to talk about it because finally... this is the first show I've seen in months where I thought, wow, I enjoyed like 90% of that. Like 90% of it was right up my alley. I really liked it. And I honestly, for the first time in a while, I thought that was an awesome show. Now, I don't know what anybody else thinks about that episode. You might have hated it. I've listened to a couple people. People seem to generally think it was like an okay episode. I completely disagree. I think that was one of the best AEWs. Dare I say, it might be the best episode of 2024, but that's just my opinion, and we all know on this channel what happens when I have an opinion. So the show opens up with Tony Khan in Jacksonville, and he basically says, listen guys, my neck, I can't be at the shows. I'm not clear to travel, so I'm going to be working remotely for the foreseeable future. And then he gets cut off, and it's the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks are basically like, oh, there's some technical difficulties, Tony. The EVP role that the Young Bucks are playing right now is brilliant. I think they're doing a really good job as their characters, and we'll get more into that later. But they basically said, here's why we're not fired, is because we can't be fired, because we have a founder's clause type of thing, and we're EVPs. You can't fire EVPs. And so they basically said that now it's their era, right? It's the elite era, and they're going to be running the shows from now on. Because in their contract, it states that if Tony Khan can't make it to the shows, then the EVPs will run the shows. But then Swerve comes out, and this is exactly what we needed Swerve to do last week. But that's alright, it was a great segment this week, so if this is what we were waiting for, that's fine. Swerve comes out, and then the Young Bucks kind of interrupt him, and which is, by the way, the Young Bucks had so much time on this show, and I loved every bit of it. Oh yeah, the intro, I didn't even get to the intro. Then they play the intro, and it's just the Elite. Well, the new Elite, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Okada, and it's just highlights of them with the AEW song, and I think this is great. Anyway, Swerve is out there, the Young Bucks interrupt him, and they say, Swerve, you should not have talked bad about us last week. Here is your opponent for Double or Nothing, and out comes my father, Christian Cage. He is my father. He is your father. I was so flubbin' happy to see this man, and I can't believe he's in the main event spot now with Swerve. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. But anyway, Christian Cage comes out, and he's with Nick Wayne, Mama Wayne, Kill Switch, and the four of them just beat Swerve up. And Christian had a really good reason. It's because before Nick Wayne joined Christian Cage, Swerve beat up Nick Wayne. And Christian Cage didn't forget, because Christian Cage never forgets. Because he's our father. I am just so happy to see Christian. Then we had a great Adam Copeland match against Buddy Matthews, and in the very end, Copeland wanted to hit Buddy Matthews with the chair. Lights go out. What's going on? Lights come back up. There's Malachi Black, and Malachi Black is telling Copeland, please do it. Hit Buddy Matthews. And then Buddy Matthews is on the floor, and he's like, yeah, hit me. Come on, what are you waiting for? Now, I'm just going to say this right now. Edge led the Judgment Day in WWE. I'm going to drop that right there. You make of that what you will, and if you understand what I'm saying, we don't even have to discuss it anymore. I thought it was good stuff. Let's move on. Now, I don't know, because this is just from my memory. I'm just thinking of the things that I really liked last night. One of them was the Orange Cassidy segment. Now, say what you want about Orange Cassidy. People despise Orange Cassidy. I admit, yes, he has gotten stale. However, this could all change because Orange Cassidy says that Chuck Taylor can no longer wrestle because of Trent Beretta, his former best friend. And then Trent Beretta comes out, security's got to come out and separate Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. Out of seemingly nowhere, Don Callis comes out through the tunnel. Dirty Don Callis, you stay away from Orange Cassidy. Except don't stay away from Orange Cassidy because Orange Cassidy as a heel is something the world needs. It's something I need. Anyway, Don Callis basically convinced Orange Cassidy to go with him. So now I have no idea who's the heel. Is it Trent? Is it Cassidy? But I can't wait to see where they're going with this. I mean, could you imagine a heel Orange Cassidy? I don't even know what that would look like. But then it was time for the Learning Tree. His entrance music is so funny now because I feel like it's a play on the Def Rebel music, where it's like supposed to be really bad. Can Jericho get this new gimmick over? Jericho's pretty good with reinventing himself, but he's had so many gimmicks in AEW, so we'll have to see about this one. I mean, I like it. The Learning Tree, and he thinks he knows best and stuff. But then we get to the ending, and I know I'm skipping stuff. Kenny, by God, Omega, the best belt machine, makes his return, comes into the ring, is wearing a suit, looks like $1 million, and he says he's had diverticulitis, and he was 24 hours away from death, and he has to take some time off, and he's still healing, he's still recovering, but he wants to get back in that ring again. It's what he wants to do. He's been going through wrestling withdrawals, but then the coin drops, out comes Okada. I'm flipping out. They're speaking Japanese to each other. I think it's awesome, but then suddenly Jack Perry, boom, attacks Kenny Omega from behind. What is going on? The Elite come out. They do the EVP trigger on Kenny Omega, but then FTR run out. Oh my goodness, they're on Kenny Omega's side. Are you serious? The Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Okada, they flee, they leave, and Kenny Omega is stretchered out. And to start Rampage, it's Kenny Omega in the back, about to go in an ambulance, and he's attacked again. Him and FTR are attacked by the Elite once again. And Matt Jackson says to Kenny, he says, "This is what's best for business," before they push him off the stretcher. Here's the thing. That made me feel. I hardly ever feel when I watch wrestling. That made me feel. I could feel it inside, man, because it looked like Kenny really just got hurt. Everything about that is what was missing from last week with Tony Khan. This just felt more raw. This just felt more real. Kenny is on the floor, FTR is on the floor, and you actually feel helpless and bad for Kenny Omega. This was so well done. A brilliant ending to Dynamite, a brilliant start to Rampage. I think this was the best AEW show so far of 2024. These are the shows that we need. We need this. We got to bring back MJF. We got to bring back Jamie Hayter. And then AEW might just be back on track. I said, Tony Khan has until the end of 2024 to prove to me that AEW is still worth watching come 2025.